Well, hello! It's time for Craftoween! It's Bobi, aka Paginator, and this is day one of the 2024 Craftoween series. So, if you're new to Craftoween, basically what it is every day in the month of October, or as many days as I can, I will get up a junk journaling video inspired by Halloween or Halloweenish kind of things. And I have two journals I'm going to be working in this year. A couple of you had mentioned that you'd like to see me assemble the journal pages in videos, and I had intended to do that, but I got in this very weird mental health space, and I just was like, I needed to do something with my hands without having to worry about overhead lighting and filming and camera angles and all this stuff. And so I just put together the core pages and the covers and things of the two journals. So we're going to take a quick look at them before we get into today's prompt. So I'm calling this one my cutesy journal. It is a purple fabric cover, and we have these white and black ribbons for the closure. The ribbons come from bottle bags that I got at the $1.25 tree. This is one of them. You'll see the other one in the next signature. And I just took the ribbons out, and they became the ribbons to tie the journal close with. So I'm just going to do like a little flip through of the pages so you can see what's here. We've got lots of bright colors. We've got oranges and purples and lime greens and of course black and white and some fun papers. This one has velvety texture. It's kind of like flocked on there, so that's really fun. We have some fun skeleton prints in here. And I don't know if they exactly go with the vibe of the rest of the pages, but we're putting them in there anyway because I wanted them in there. Here is the second bottle bag, and both of those, like I said, came from the $1.25 tree. And we've got some papers that are digital, some that are scrapbook paper. Some, like this paper here, I've had in my craft stash for years. So I'm not even sure if I could tell you where everything came from. This page printed kind of wonky. You may have noticed the other side of it had kind of a white edge, but we're using it anyway. Okay, so this is, like I said, I'm calling this one my cutesy journal, and then the other one I'm calling my creepy journal. The outside might look a little bit cute because it's got these vintage old maid cards on the fabric, but it is a lot creepier when we look at the prints that we have. And this first one, you can see immediately, this is from Louisa Heinzel. With the digital papers, one side is Louisa, one side is Barbara. So this is Barbara's side. All of Barbara's are kind of like this golden orangey, and there's some kind of cool looking girls on there and stuff. And then Louisa's are the reverse side of that. So we will page through. I've got a little bit of coffee dyed paper in here, some scrapbook paper, different things. So again, there's Barbara and then Louisa. And then I also have these big, they're made to be a banner to hang up, you know, stretching across a fireplace or something like that, but I turned them into signatures. So Louisa, Barbara. So that's what I meant with the girls in Barbara's kit. You see those kind of young ladies there. This paper has an interesting shine on it, which is, I think, is kind of cool. So there's a few pieces of that. I love these kind of stitched mouth looking scarecrow creatures that Louisa has in her kit. I really wanted to do something where the only digitals I had were from Barbara and Louisa because they're my junk journaling heroes and I love using their stuff. This one has a map on it, which I think is very cool. This cat is going to make me think of Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, or like Binks from Hocus Pocus. Sorry, I'm not saying a lot as I'm paging through these journals. We don't really have a whole lot to look at, just the pretty pages, but once we start creating, there'll be more things to, look at that page. Seriously. I was thinking these skull and crossbones might look a little bit cutesy, but I think they just fit better in the creepy journal. Same with this, with the witches and the bats and stuff. Color-wise, and I don't know, it just seemed like vibe-wise as well that fit better in this one. Okay, so we've seen the journals. Now we get into how this is all going to work with our routine, with each video, prompts, all that good stuff. So for the sake of ceremony and fun, I've got a little blind figure unboxing we're going to do at the beginning of each video. First year I ever did Craftoween, we did Funko Mystery Mini, like I think it was a Funko Advent Calendar with Nightmare Before Christmas. And I have this one, which is different, but it's also Nightmare Before Christmas. And when we run out of days on that, I have a little like Halloween rubber ducky ones that will open. So we'll start with day one in this one because it is day one of Craftoween, and my nails don't want to punch through there very well. I don't know how I feel about these new Halloween nails. I'm used to square nails, and these ones are rounded and are kind of ovally, and yeah, I don't know how I like them, but that's okay. Ah, I don't remember a character like this in the movie. Maybe it's supposed to be Jack dressed as the Grim Reaper? I don't know, but it does come with this little loop on the top, so I could turn this into an ornament for a Halloween tree or something. That's something to think about. Up next, we're going to roll for our prompts, and I do have a bullet journal set up here for me to write down what I roll for each day, and then do a little note about what I made, and then there's some little like just things for me to track with video making and that kind of stuff. So we've got this, so I can write down what I roll, and we've got our prompt list. So the first roll is going to be a Halloween theme or topic, and the second roll is going to be a junk journaling, crafting style like technique or tool to use or something like that. Okay, so I've got this die that's like 60-sided, and I only have 31 prompts. So as we're going throughout the series, if you have another suggestion for either list 1 or list 2 or both, hit me up in the comments below, or reach out in some way. You can DM me on Instagram, etc., and say, hey, I've got another thought, and I can add it, and we can keep growing the list because this dice goes quite high. So if I roll the dice and it lands on a number higher than 31, we'll just roll again until we get a number that's on the list. Scoot that over, and 33 is on the top, so we'll need to roll again. This could take a while. 32. We're getting closer. And it rolled out of space. What do I do? I guess we just take the number that it rolled, and I'll show you, is 22. Okay, so 22 we have trick-or-treating / candy. Alright, let's roll for this one. Oh, it rolled out of the way again. 36. 29. 29 is lace or ribbon. So we need to come up with something about trick-or-treating / candy, and we need to use lace or ribbon. Okay, I think we're going to go for the cutesy journal for today's prompt. I've got this page here with some little kids dressed up in costumes. Some of them have little trick-or-treating buckets, and I thought, you know what, just seems to fit right. And we've got a few things that I've gathered, and I might be grabbing some more stuff. I have this little card here that says Trick or Treat, and it comes from the same scrap paper collection as this does. And then I've got a few of these cards. These were part of a deck of Hocus Pocus themed tarot cards I used for a Hocus Pocus book that I made last year, I think it was, or maybe 2 years ago. Anyway, this has cute little trick-or-treat buckets on it. I thought maybe we could fussy cut for something. And then I just grabbed a couple of the extra cards because the back of them are really pretty. I don't know if I'll end up using them all, but we've got those. And I have this box that's like got these kind of purple and black diagonal stripes on them. I ordered some heated gloves for football season when I'm there taking pictures and stuff during the cold games. My hands get frozen up and then it's like the claw, you know, so I want to make sure that my hands are warm. And this box was so cute, I thought, you know what, I can save this and do something with it. I don't know if I'll be able to figure out exactly what to do with it on this, but I have an idea kind of kicking around in my head. So I've also got some black lace. I've kind of set it off to one side because I'm not quite ready for it yet. I think what I want to start with is making the structure of a pocket here, either pocket or tuck spot. Should I do a pocket or tuck spot? Pocket, I think, pocket. And then I want to make the pocket out of this, and also make a couple of little like pieces of candy out of this to put up on this page. I think. I think. And undo the box so that it's a flat piece. That'll be much easier to work with. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut this front flap off. So let's take a pencil, and if the pocket starts here, I'm gonna give it a good amount inside so that it doesn't, the pocket, because it's so thick, I don't want it to interfere with the crease of the pages and the signature. So I'm going to move over at least this far. So we'll start on the crease there where it's folded, and then maybe bring it to about here. Okay, I'm still worried about this being pretty thick, so I'm wondering if I could peel this off without ruining it. Oh, that's starting to tear. Okay, I don't think that's going to work. At least it's scaring me to the point where I'm not going to keep trying to peel the layers. So it'll just be a really thick pocket. Okay, we'll try it first with our glitter glue and see if that will hold. If it will not hold, then we will try something else. While this is, the glue is setting, I'm going to try out this lace. It's nice and wide. So the reason I like this is that it'll cover like most of the words and stuff, but we'll still be able to see the purple and black stripe. And if I glue it down as a flip up, then I can flip this up and remind myself, oh yeah, that was from the heated gloves. This is actual junk in my junk journal. Okay, I really like that piece of lace. So we're going to cut this. This side is being a little bit funny about staying glued down, and it could just be the way that the pages are sitting. But I am going to go underneath with some Fabri-Tac and see if that can help hold it a little bit better. I might just need to sit here and hold this for a minute. Bum, 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 bum. So for the glue on the lace, Fabri-Tac also always works really well with lace, so I'm just going to do, I don't know, is this a quarter of the way down the pocket? an inch or so. Get nice good coverage there. And then place the lace here so it can still flip up if I want to look at what's underneath. While that glue is setting, I've got 2 pieces of the package here, and I'm going to try to outline some pieces of candy, and maybe I can make some little page accents with these, just like, you know, the old-fashioned round pieces of candy that have the little twists. And we'll try cutting these out and see how they do. I'm just kind of freehand sketching these shapes, so they're not going to be perfect, but that's all right with me. I don't know about you guys, but during spooky season, I really watch a lot of movies, and they could be ones that are specifically for spooky season, or they could be ones that I'm just like in the mood for or have certain vibes or something. Today, I turned on Labyrinth because one of my students was talking about Ludo, the character Ludo from Labyrinth, and how his dog is named Ludo after that character from the movie. I thought, oh gosh, it's been like almost a month since I watched Labyrinth. I should watch it again. Labyrinth has a very special place in my heart because when I was 16, I don't know how I got lucky enough to have friends that would do something like this for me, especially a bunch of 16-year-olds. But when I was 16, my friend surprised me with a surprise birthday party, and they had like reserved our local church building, and they cooked this massive breakfast, Belgian waffles and all kinds of things, and we watched Labyrinth and played games, and it was so much fun. So, and that was the first time I'd ever seen Labyrinth, so I associate that movie in my mind with people being kind and loving and doing good things, even though the movie is about a goblin king who steals a child. Okay, we've got our little candy pieces here, and we're going to bring the journal back. My thought was maybe kind of putting them like this. And then something that just kind of popped into my head right now is, like, if I did some embossing that said trick or treat on the candies, that could be kind of fun. Let's try that. All right, so this is an embossing pen, and I am just going to write trick or treat. Actually, it would work better if I put this on paper rather than packaging. I can't find a piece of paper that's easy to grab, so we're going to use this. The reason this will work better than the cardboard packaging is because this is bendable. And you'll see why that's going to be helpful here in a second. So I bend this and pour my embossing powder back in, et voila. Alright, there we go, trick or treat. I'm having good luck with Fabri-Tac today, so we're going to use that to stick these pieces on. Oh, put it on right side up. Now we need to decide what's going to go in the pocket, if we're going to use any of these cards that I showed you, that kind of thing. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Where did my black soot distress ink go? Alright, I inked this up with black soot just to have a little edge on it, and I'm going to tuck this in, but this can't be all that goes in the pocket. We've got to do something a little bit bigger. I don't want to do something super thick because even though this pocket is like really sturdy, it's not going to open up very wide because it is the thickness that it is. So I think we could fussy cut on these and like add them to a tag or something maybe. Okay, so I'm thinking we might have these on this tag, but we need to add some color. So I'm going to pop in and grab some Distress Oxide to color this up. We're going to use Shaded Lilac and Wilted Violet to do some purples on this card. And I need something underneath all this. Here's where we can use the rest of our packaging. So I'm going to start with Shaded Lilac. This is a purple shade, but it's got a lot of blue in it, and it's very pale. I don't know if pale's the right word, like pastel, I guess is what I mean. It's very pastel-y. Wilted Violet is definitely more purpley. I do like to get a lot of color saturation when I'm doing this. Depending on your taste, you might like to do something completely different. You might like to just do like little bits like that. I also really like to do what I call the smooshing technique, where I smoosh some ink from the ink pad onto like my glass mat or some plastic or something, and add some water and mix it up and then dip the paper in it. I don't know why exactly I call it smooshing. I probably picked it up from somebody somewhere in a YouTube video. Alright, I'm going to come back with my first color and blend those areas where the two are coming together. Let's see how we look here. Okay, I think that looks cool, but this is oxide we're talking about. We might as well do some water activation. And I kind of want to go for some bigger water spots than just sprinkles. So we'll see if I can do the Louisa technique. Put bigger puddle of water in your hand and just go splat. Aha! And then we'll also do a couple little spritzes, so we've got some little drops. Here. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a minute. We'll just dab it with a paper towel. Look at that gorgeous oxidation. Ooh, love it. Alright, this is dry now. It's still a little bit warped. That's just what happens when you add water to paper. But it will flatten out. I really feel like we need a little sentiment or something here, and I've got a stamp that says trick or treat on it. So let's go with this. I have two trick or treat stamps. One is teeny tiny and one is giant, and the giant one just is not going to work. So we're going to do the teeny tiny one. Let's put it right here. Trick or treat. Alright, that's a teeny tiny bit crooked. I'll just go like this and then you won't know that it's crooked. And I do think we need some kind of topper for the tag, and since we're supposed to be using lace today, I went to my black lace stash and I've got this piece that's got these little skulls in it. So I thought I'd cut out a little lace skull, and we'll see how that looks for the topper. If we hate it, we don't have to glue it on. But Craftoween is about experimenting and having fun, so we shall try it. I actually kind of like that. What do you think? Let's glue it down before I overthink it too much. Alright, I feel like I need more black soot around the edges. There's just not enough there, so we're going to go back and go around it again, a little bit thicker edge. I like that much better. Now we can take this tag and slide it right in here. Okay, I think this is going to do it for Craftoween Day 1. We've got our little candies we made and embossed out of actual junk for our junk journal. Our pocket, the lace flip out for the pocket. We tucked a cute ready-made card inside and made our own tag. I love this little skull head at the top of the tag. I'm very pleased with day 1 of Craftoween. So thanks so much for joining me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe so you can be notified of the rest of the videos in the series. I'm going to do my best to get a video out every day for the month of October, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully I have no crises to get in the way of that. So I'm going to say that's it for this time. Thank you again for joining me, and have a wonderful, magical, and bookish day. Happy reading, crafting, or journaling. Adios.